Hello guys, welcome back to Triple Double Nation. Young players that need more opportunities or have gotten in the mix of their team can suddenly become diamonds in the rough when given the chance. Players not seen in the following will be stars like Jason Tatum. Recent breakout players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Devontae Graham, or Kendrick Nunn will also not be on here. This video is to analyze and predict which young players, either in the spotlight or overlooked, will break out in the upcoming 2020 and 2021 NBA season based on their past production, primarily from the current, pause 2019 and 2020 NBA season. Player efficiency rating, or PER, is a measure of a player's per minute performance, summing up their positive accomplishments and subtracting their negative accomplishments. The league average for PER is considered to be 15.0 every season. Offensive and defensive ratings are used to compare a few players. A higher offensive rating means a player produces more on offense, and a lower defensive rating means a player allows less production of their opponents on defense. These are not end-all be-all statistics, just an in-depth analysis for some players. All stats were gathered from basketballreference.com, and all stats used are from 2019 and 2020 season before the March 11, 2020 COVID-19 stoppage. Number 10, Zion Williamson. New Orleans Pelicans with a reported projected return to the court in January. Zion Williamson may soon make his NBA debut. The number 1 overall pick's return has been long awaited, but what to expect from the rookie may be up in the air after his extended absence. The Pelicans will likely ease Williamson into his return, as they have done thus far with his rehab, and since the team is not in contention, Williamson will then have time to find his footing, and once he does, his ceiling can only go up in 2020. If he can avoid further injury, Williamson is set to finally show his NBA potential. Wendell Carter Jr., 21 years old, Chicago Bulls. Wendell Carter Jr. is currently the Bulls starting center and is already a double-double threat every game. Coming out of college in 2018, he showed above-average shooting and passing skills for a big man while developing as a shot blocker and rebounder. Injury issues have hampered him, and he has not had the chance to develop and use his scoring skills as much as the Bulls because of Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine. Both players who are scorers first, bring in another scorer in 2019 draft pick Kobe White, and Carter is not left with many shot opportunities. However, he still has 3.3 win shares this season, so healthiness combined with a significant injury or trade may lead to a breakout for Carter. Otherwise, he may have already reached his peak in his role with the Bulls. Terrence Davis, 23 years old, Toronto Raptors. Not many people think of Terrence Davis when recounting the 2019 rookie class, but the undrafted rookie has quietly produced. Davis primarily played a role off the bench for the Raptors, shooting 39.6% from three-point range and totaling 3 win shares, while playing only 17 minutes per game. He also performed as a solid defender and was overall a well-polished player coming out of college. However, he struggles as a mid-range shooter, making only 14.3% of shots from 10 to 16 feet out of the basket. He also played a sizable amount of his minutes in garbage time, so it is yet to be seen if he can be effective as a primary role player. Davis will need to see more significant minutes until he can be considered a breakout candidate and flourish like another Raptors undrafted player in Fred VanVleet. Donte DiVincenzo, 23 Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are one of the best teams from the 2019 and 2020 season and have a general star in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Behind him, Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe make up the identity of the Bucks. Amidst these players, Donte DiVincenzo often gets lost in the shuffle. He has 4.5 win shares in the 2019 and 2020 season, including 3.1 defensive win shares and a 100 defensive rating, third lowest in the Bucks. Offensively, however, he does not get many opportunities as a result of being on a winning team with multiple past All-Stars. He averages 7.7 field goals attempts per game, 5th on the team, and averages 14.6 points per 36 minutes, 8th on the team. While DiVincenzo can excel as a defensive specialist, he needs to develop his offensive skill set further, and he may need to be traded to a team with less stars or wait for one of the Bucks' primary players to leave in order to get the chance to break out. Brandon Clark, 23 years old, Memphis Grizzlies. In his rookie season, Brandon Clark has produced well for the Grizzlies. He averaged 21.7 minutes, 12 points, and 5.8 rebounds per game. His field goal percentage was 62.3%, including 40.4% from the three-point range. Both best among the Grizzly players appearing in more than 15 games. He put up 4.4 win shares and a 21.8 PER, both good for second on the team in the current NBA season. On top of his high production during his rookie year, Clark is in line to receive more opportunities next season. He's a better shooter than both Kyle Anderson and Gorgui Dieng, and had a higher offensive rating than both per 100 possessions. Clark 17.3, and playing 98% of his minutes at the forward positions, where Clark spent 90% of his minutes. The Grizzlies will use Clark more often, with Jackson potentially leaving in free agency, and Dieng and Anderson approaching fringe roster spots. Clark may not be a starter, as Jaren Jackson Jr. is a starting 4-man, but Clark is primed to get significant minutes, at least as a 6-man, with the impending increased opportunities. Clark's production will be amplified as he is in line to break out on a Grizzlies team entering the playoff mix. Tyler Herro, 20 years old, Miami Heat. Tyler Herro has spent his rookie season primarily coming off the bench for the Heat. He is seen primarily as a sharpshooter, making 39.1% of his three-pointers and attempting 5.4 three-pointers per game, 4th among Heat players who played in more than 15 games. Despite his tools as a shooter, he only has .9 win shares and a 100 offensive rating this season. The Heat's offense primarily revolves around Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, leading to the offensive focus being primarily on the inside, where Harrell makes 43.4% of his two-point shots, 10th among current Heat players who have played in more than 15 games. However, the emergence of guard Kendrick Nunn and fellow sharpshooter Duncan Robinson have led to Heat to develop more of an outside game, with multiple outside shooters and further spacing. Harrell will get his fair share of opportunities and open shots. Jimmy Butler made 24.8% of his three-pointers compared to 49.4% of his two-pointers, so Harrell will be able to complement the star well with his outside shot. With Butler and Adebayo on the inside and teams scrambling to defend Nunn and Robinson on the outside, Harrell will see opportunities as the offense open up and has the sharp shooting tools to become one of the best shooters in the league. Jonathan Isaac, 22 years old, Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic have been a borderline playoff team for a couple of years now, but they could easily get catapulted into the middle of the playoff picture with a Jonathan Isaac breakout. Isaac has been predominantly a defensive specialist for the Magic in his 3 years in the league. Not only is Isaac regarded as one of the best defenders in the Magic, he can be one of the best defenders in the league. Before going down with injury 32 games into the 2019 and 2020 season, he managed 2.3 win shares, 1 point netted in defensive, and had a team best 102 defensive rating. His breakout relies on his growth on offense. At 6'11", Isaac has the versatility to play either forward position and become a matchup nightmare for shorter forwards. Isaac shoots well in the paint, expected for someone of his height. He also has gradually improved his mid-range shot, shooting 37.5% from 10 to 16 feet out from the basket this season. Michael Porter Jr., 22 years old, Denver Nuggets. When Michael Porter Jr. was drafted in the 2018 draft, he was seen as a steal. Porter had an injury-filled college career, and he also missed the 2018 and 2019 season with an injury. He finally got to play as a rookie for the Nuggets this season and produced well coming off the bench. Going into college, Porter was highly regarded as a top prospect, and he showed it in the small amount of playing time he got with the Nuggets. Porter shot 42.2% from three-point range, put up 2 win shares, and managed an 18.5 PER, getting only 14 minutes per game. Mitchell Robinson, 22 years old, New York Knicks. On a lowly Knicks team, Mitchell Robinson has been a rare bright spot. Playing center, Robinson has been a surprise as a second-round pick, providing spark both offensively and defensively. This season, Robinson has put up a whopping 6.8 win shares for a team that has only 21 games. With defenses focusing on RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, Robinson has quietly shot 74.2% from the field and averaged 2 blocks per game, all the while playing 23.1 minutes per game. 6th among players who have played more than 50 games for the Knicks. Kobe White, 20 years old, Chicago Bulls. In his rookie season, Kobe White got off to a slow start but really skyrocketed after the All-Star break. White has been one of the best rookies offensively with his 13.2 points per game, ranking 5th among drafted rookies who played more than 20 games, while his 25.8 minutes per game is back at 10th. Despite only putting up .9 win shares to the rebuilding Bulls, his game shot up after the All-Star break. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future.